Hello guys, Croc is here. Over the last 40 years, we've seen many versions of the Xenomorph monster in Alien sequels, video games, comic books, and the crossover with the Predator franchise. In fact, the Alien universe has a large number of Xenomorph types that are often drastically different from the original Alien. So in today's video, I'll explain every single Xenomorph version, including really rare and extreme hybrids from comics that you probably haven't heard of. I'll focus on explaining more popular variations from movies since we have more information about them. However, I'll also explain lesser known but really interesting variants from the Alien lore. The Ovomorph is the first alien life form that we encounter in the original Alien of 1979. Often referred to as an alien egg, it's a separate organism containing a fully grown facehugger. Alien eggs are extremely durable to all kinds of physical and thermal damage since their purpose is to preserve a facehugger and release it once they detect a life form nearby. Alien eggs are produced by alien queens, however the origin of the eggs in the crashed juggernaut is still unknown. It's also worth to mention the egg sacs from Alien Covenant, which just like ovomorphs initiate the creation of an alien organism. The egg sacs appear to be the result of plant's mutation with the pathogen spread by David. The plant releases tiny pores that grow inside a host into the Neomorph, an interesting xenomorph type that we'll discuss later in the video. The Facehugger is a parasitoid organism that hatches from an alien egg. Facehuggers are extremely fast and agile, and their purpose is to neutralize a host by attaching themselves to their head and then impregnating them with an alien embryo that will eventually grow into a Chestburster and then into a Xenomorph. One particular variation of that creature is the Royal Facehugger from Alien 3 that has an ability to lay an alien queen embryo inside a host. The Octo-facehugger is a xenomorph organism that was cut from Prometheus. In the early script, this organism was supposed to impregnate Holloway with the Beluga-Xenomorph, which we'll get to in just a moment. This concept was rejected, and instead David infected Holloway with the black goo, which caused a chain of mutations leading up to the Deacon. Based on early scripts, the Octo-facehugger was supposed to be an ancient version of the Xenomorph facehugger that was later modified by engineers to become a biological weapon. The Chestburster is not a separate organism but rather an infant form of the Xenomorph species that grows inside a host and then bursts through their chest. After the gruesome emergence that kills a host, Chestbusters grow and develop into an adult Xenomorph within a few hours. The Xenomorph, or XX-121, is the iconic monster that first appeared in Alien of 1979. It's a highly aggressive and vicious predator with no other goal than the reproduction of their species and the destruction of any life form they encounter. Just like bees, xenomorphs are hive creatures that are separated in castes and can only reproduce with an alien queen. Xenomorphs have acid blood, inner jaws, and blade-tipped tails, which makes them vicious and deadly creatures. Sometimes the original xenomorph is referred to as drone, soldier, or warrior, and in several movies it appears with a slightly different shape of the skull, which reflects xenomorph's maturity. XX-121 is a xenomorph spawned from humans. However, in the alien lore, xenomorphs spawned from a large variety of hosts, inheriting parts of their DNA, which resulted in a few different types of xenomorphs that we're gonna go through. In comic books, animal hosts spawned a few exotic xenomorphs like the bull alien, the gorilla alien, the rhino alien, the mantis alien, and the crocodile alien, which is one of the largest xenomorph types. There are also the anti-man xenomorphs, which are 4 animal-human hybrids created by Dr. Neil Rainstadt. In Alien 3 we can see the Runner, also known as the dog alien or the Scout, which is a xenomorph spawned from a quadrupedal animal. Runners are smaller than original xenomorphs, but they are faster and more agile and can spit acid from their mouths. The Jockey-Xenomorph is another alien variant spawned from an engineer. In Alien of 1979, we can see that the pilot's fossilized suit was ruptured from the inside. So the creature that came from this space jockey was never seen, and this aspect remains unexplained. However, a comic book and a video game that take place in a different setting show the Jockey-Xenomorph spawned from an engineer host. On top of that, another version of the Jockey-Xenomorph was supposed to be in Prometheus, but the concept was ultimately cut, and I'll explain this Xenomorph type later in the video. The Crusher from the Colonial Marines game is a stage 6 Xenomorph that possesses a large head crest and is able to inflict a massive amount of damage. The Praetorian, also known as the Royal Guard, is the final stage of the Xenomorph cycle. Royal Guards have a large and durable crest that resemble a queen due to their size, and their main purpose is to protect the hive and the queen. The Rogue or the King Alien is a human Xenomorph hybrid created to be a domesticated equivalent of an alien queen that could obey to human commands and control other Xenomorphs. However, the Rogue turned out to be extremely hostile to original Xenomorphs and went on a rampage at Karen base, destroying the hive and engaging in a battle with an alien queen. The White Hybrid is a Xenomorph type from the comics created by a malfunctioned AI that combined DNA of humans, Xenomorphs, and Yautja. White Hybrids possess a high level of intelligence and are capable of speech and the usage of tools and weapons. The Wraith is a Xenomorph of an unknown origin found in an engineered ship. Swimming aliens are Xenomorphs that primarily live in aquatic environments, as their name implies, similarly to the subterranean Xenomorphs who are able to dig underground tunnels. The Predalien is another popular variation which is a hybrid of Yautja and Xenomorphs which appears in AVP movies, comics, and video games. This type of Xenomorph is spawned from a predator host and has features of both species including acid blood, dreadlocks, and mandibles. Predaliens possess a greater physical strength compared to Xenomorphs and Yautja. They are also significantly taller than other two species and engage in trophy hunting. The Berserker-Alien is a Xenomorph spawned from a super predator, which makes this Predalien one of the most hostile Xenomorph types with extreme strength, agility, and durability. Alien games feature a few interesting variants such as the Matriarch, an ancient alien queen, the alien dragon from Aliens Extermination arcade game, and the giant Xenomorph from Aliens Armageddon arcade game. The King is one of the largest forms of the Xenomorph species that is extremely durable and aggressive. Although the exact purpose and the origin of the King is unknown, this creature appears to be a combat-built version of an alien queen, and it possesses two additional bladed tails on each side. Before we get to non-canon Xenomorphs and different types of alien queens, let's explore Xenomorphs that appear in Prometheus and Alien Covenant. The Hammerpede is a result of an extraterrestrial worm being exposed to the pathogen on LV-223. The Beluga-Xenomorph, also called Holloway Alien, is a Xenomorph that was supposed to be spawned from Holloway after being impregnated by an Octo-facehugger in the Engineer Temple. This concept was removed from the script because of the similarity to the events in Alien of 1979. The Trilobite is an octopus-like creature that was a result of Holloway transmitting the pathogen to Elizabeth Shaw, which led to a Trilobite embryo growing inside Elizabeth's womb. The Trilobite grew extremely fast, reaching its full size in less than a day. From what we know so far, its primary purpose was to impregnate a host with a Deacon embryo. The Deacon is a dark blue Xenomorph-like creature which was a result of the Trilobite impregnating the Engineer. We don't know too much about it, however, based on the mural in the LV-223 temple, Engineers used to worship Deacons, or maybe a non-violent and more sentient version of them that existed a long time ago. The Ultramorph is a Jockey-Xenomorph that was supposed to be spawned from the Engineer instead of the Deacon. This creature is extremely tall and possesses some of the features of the Engineer's biosuits. It is extremely likely that originally this Ultramorph was supposed to lay eggs on the crashed ship, which would be the Juggernaut in Alien of 1979, therefore bringing the Alien story full circle. However, the Ultramorph was cut from Prometheus, probably because producers decided to go in a different direction. The sequel to Prometheus, Alien Covenant, features two other types of xenomorphs encountered on the planet 4. The Neomorph is a xenomorph-type creature spawned from a host that was infected by the X-Sax spores. Since plants on the planet 4 were exposed to the pathogen, their seeds carried some version of the xenomorph DNA. As a result, when spores penetrate the living body, just like facehuggers, they are genetically programmed to use host's resources to grow into the Neomorph. Because of the pathogen mutation with the flora on the planet 4, the resulting Neomorph has a few distinct traits such as pale gray skin, cone-shaped head, and non-acidic blood. The Praetomorph was a xenomorph variant created by David through experimentation with the black goo, creatures from the planet 4, and possibly Shaw's body parts. In the Alien Covenant novelization, David explained that he found a fossilized alien egg on the planet 4 and tried to replicate it. The result was the Praetomorph eggs that led to the emergence of the Praetomorph, which is extremely similar to the Xenomorph since David used the pathogen containing the Xenomorph DNA. However, Praetomorphs lack the biomechanical features of the original Xenomorph, and the theory is that David will have to use himself as a host to perfect his creation, which will give the resulting alien these mechanical elements. The next type is the Alien Queen, which is a mother of all xenomorphs in a hive. Alien queens are extremely large compared to xenomorphs, with a huge head crest, extra limbs, and additional spikes on the spine. Queens' primary purpose is to lay xenomorph eggs, however they can also engage in combat if needed. In addition, alien queens are able to communicate with xenomorphs in their hive across large distances and control their behavior, although the method of communication remains unknown. Furthermore, comic books feature the Queen Mother, which is an alien queen that has control over other regular queens, making her the supreme force in the xenomorph hierarchy. The Red Queen Mother is another type of an alien queen that led the rebellion of red xenomorphs to overthrow the Queen Mother. The Red Xenomorph was a mutated hybrid variant of regular xenomorphs that opposed the Mother Queen and turned against the original black variants, which led to the Red Xenomorph rebellion that I just mentioned. Ripley 8 is the 8th successful clone of Ellen Ripley, which grew in a lab from a blood sample. In Alien Resurrection, scientists were trying to restore the xenomorph DNA using the blood sample of Ellen Ripley, who had an alien queen embryo inside of her before dying. Scientists couldn't separate DNAs of Ripley and the xenomorph queen, so the only way to obtain the alien queen, which was their main goal, was to clone Ellen Ripley, and the result of the cloning was a xenomorph human hybrid, Ripley 8. Therefore, Ripley 8 is technically a xenomorph, and in the movie she displays many xenomorph characteristics such as increased strength and speed, acidic blood, and the ability to communicate with other xenomorphs. The Clonned Queen is a xenomorph queen obtained through the cloning of Ellen Ripley. Just like original Ellen Ripley, Ripley 8 had an alien queen embryo inside of her, which was safely removed and used to produce xenomorphs for military experiments. The Newborn is a xenomorph that was created by the Cloned Queen. Just like Ripley 8 inherited some of the xenomorph DNA, the Cloned Queen also picked up some of the human genome during the cloning process. As a result, she developed the second reproductive system and gave birth to the newborn xenomorph through a womb without the regular Ovomorph and Facehugger cycle. The newborn appearance is extremely different from other xenomorphs since the creature had a large portion of its DNA from Ripley. The newborn had a bipedal stance, pale white skin, and a superior strength. In addition, the creature also considered Ripley 8 its true mother instead of the Cloned Queen. Lastly, I'm gonna explain really unusual non-canon xenomorph types that appear in crossovers with other franchises. The hybrid, also referred to as the Beast, is a human xenomorph variant with some humanoid features that appears in the comic book adaptation of Alien 3 unproduced script. The Flying Queen is a xenomorph queen with a large pair of wings that is featured in a number of comic books and video games which are mostly considered non-canon. The Killer Croc Xenomorph, a hybrid from Batman Alien crossover, the Tarkatan Xenomorph from Mortal Kombat game, the Dark Alien, a Xenomorph demon from Witchblade crossover, and the Fire Eater Alien from Wild CIT comics crossover that has an ability to breathe and spit fire. Operation Alien combat game features the Three-Headed Alien, a xenomorph type of an unknown origin that has 3 independent heads and extremely distinct coloring. Finally, to complete the list of all known xenomorphs, I'm gonna briefly mention different variants from the 1990 arcade game. The Chrysalis, a Predalien hybrid, the Defender, the Egg-shaped Alien, the Star-faced Alien, the Electric Alien, the Infectoid, the Razor Claws, the Smasher, the Armored Xenomorph, the Walled Alien, the Long-neck Alien, and the Arachnoid. Here you go guys, that was the complete list of all xenomorph types that exist so far in the Alien universe. I tried to include every single version, but if there is anything that I missed, definitely let me know in the comment section. Check out my other videos about Engineer's origins and other Prometheus related topics. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you like the content. My name is Croft and I'll see you in the next video.